So I recently bought a couple of used AD200 Godox flashes, and I actually bought 3 of them. And when I got them home, one battery would charge, the other 2 would not. The Google supplied no information. I couldn't find anything on how to reset these things, get them brought back up to where they would charge, how to take them apart, anything. So I hit up Tim Payne at flashgear.net, see what he knew, and he really couldn't recall, said he hadn't been into one for a while, but basically gave me the direction that you just have to split the case. It's not really a battery you can technically service. So I thought, well, if I'm going to buy some new ones anyway, I want to get into these and see what I can find out. So the first one, I did split the case on. I just took a knife along that seam and a little hammer and kind of just busted it. It's kind of a tongue and groove application with epoxy all the way around it. And what I found when I got in here, because they would not take a charge from my power supply, what I found when I got in here was there is a little reset circuit right here. Those two little circles there, just touch them together with something that's conductive. And then of course these are the charging pads that you see from the outside, and you got your positive and negative actually to the battery on those edges. Now, so what I did is I reset the battery, and then I put my bench power supply on these 2 battery pins, but I probably didn't even need to. Once I hit the reset, these were in a low power state. They were like 0.8 volts. I probably could have just charged them from the pads, the external pads, but I didn't do that. And I'm not even 100% sure that, I guess my process wasn't very consistent, but at any rate, I do believe that this is a reset circuit, and I think once you reset this, you can probably charge it through these pads. But those pads just being exposed would not allow me to charge until I hit that reset circuit. So I kind of botched that. But what I wanted to do on the second battery was see if, by having this information from my opened battery, if I could just kind of access this second battery without splitting the case. And so what I did is I actually did grind to get to those battery pads, but I don't think I actually needed to, now that I think about it, because what I did was I took my drill and I just drilled a little hole in the case right here, actually like 3 little holes, but they didn't really line up really well, and it's kind of a hack job to gain access to those reset circuits. So I hit the reset, and then I actually did jump it to those battery pads on the side, because if you look right here on these little battery pads on the side actually wrap around the side, so that's what you're looking at. When you look right here, that's what I gained access to, but I don't even think I needed to do that. But I don't know because I didn't check it. So I hacked open the case right here, accessed the reset it, and at that point I probably could have charged it just through these pads. Or at least to get it up. I used a benchtop power supply to get it up to, it immediately jumped from, under 1 volt up to about 9 or 10. And then I had to get it up, I had to charge it up to about 13 volts, I think, which didn't take very long on the benchtop power supply. And then I popped them into the Godox charger, and they started charging, and they just finished. I did that late last night, and I took them off because I don't leave batteries on when I'm sleeping, especially batteries like these that have been compromised. But I finished charging them up this morning, and I'm going to run them through some test cycles, see if they actually hold capacity and fire the flash and perform as I would have expected them to perform. But so far it looks good. Just need to access that reset circuit in there, and there is pretty much zero information on the internet about how to get to these, so I thought I might be able to help somebody out, because these batteries, if you leave them without charging, they'll just kind of discharge themselves, and once they get below a certain voltage, the battery will not allow the charger to charge it. So you got to help it get back up to voltage, and that's how you do it. And I think it does hit that reset circuit to make it come out of that protective state. So let me know if this helps you. I wish this video would have been there for me. As a side note, I didn't clarify this, but I'm going to go back on this one that I cut and fill this in with epoxy so it's not exposed. And on the one that I split, I kind of somewhat destroyed the tongue and groove in the splitting process, which is why I wanted to get into the other one the way I did. I think this will probably hold up after I epoxy it back together, but only time will tell. Also, please be careful drilling, cutting, splitting these. You got it's a lithium ion battery. You get too heavy-handed with it, you know, you could short it out. That's not good. Don't do that. Please be careful working on these things. I did go ahead and order a couple of new batteries, and I'll just keep these as a backup. Time will tell if the epoxy works and the batteries haven't been damaged. You know, we'll see about that. But please be careful, and at $60 a replacement battery, it's worth it to me to try to rehab them. So good luck.